You're welcome. Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.
Mo kí gbogbo wa nílé lóko lẹ́yìn odi. Mo kí wọn wípé a kú bójú ọjọ́ ṣeré, mo kí ìyá, mo kí bàbá, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n, mo kí àbúrò. Èmi ọmọ yín olólùfẹ́ yín Dr. Zabby's Talk Show. Ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣe yọ lọ́dọ̀ títí yín náà. Ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ayé ọpẹ́ á máa yọ fún wa, lórí ọmọ, lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa. Òun láyé ọpẹ́ ló máa fi máa yọ fún wa. Èwo la mú wá fún wa ní ọjọ́ títí òní wípé ká sáré ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe máa ń ṣe. Yorùbá ni mí, Yorùbá ni ìran mi. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ó kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń bá wa láìkè tó wa, láì má tiẹ̀ tí gbọ́ nǹkan kan tí a fẹ́ sọ. God bless you. Mo promise ní ètò tí mo ṣe kọjá. Mo létò tí màá ṣe, mo ṣe àpẹẹrẹ. Bọ̀ kò wá ní rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó bá dọjọ́ mi ò ní sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Because èyí tí mo fẹ́ ṣe ń sìn, òun kọ́ ni mo promise. Ó dẹ̀ ní nǹkan tó fà. Wọ́n ní tí gíbá wéré lugi tòkè ẹ̀ lápapọ̀ máa ń kó ànírọ̀wù láti ìsàlẹ̀. Ìyẹn náà ṣe máa wá. But by the time tí n bá ṣe, màá fi ìdánimọ̀ síbẹ̀ pé fídíò tí mo sọ yẹn òun ni eléyìí o. Now God bless you. Chief Sunday Igboho mà gbóyìnbó. Buhari ò gbọ́ òyìnbó. Wọn ò lè kọ, wọn ò lè kà. Ìgbà tí Buhari sọ òyìnbó, a máa gbọ́ nǹkan kan tó sọ. Ẹ wá máa wo grammar báyìí. Igboho báwo? Buhari báwo? Ẹni tó ní Igboho illiterate ni. Yes, ó rí sọ dáadáa. Level ti yàtọ̀. Level ṣe kí ni? Next level. Another level. Don't gbé everybody wọ̀ ní Nigeria and sing. Oh my God. Ẹ bá ń gbé pé ó lè kú. Ó ṣe kí ni? Iye hostel ni mo bá wálé ni. Ó lè kú ìjà ọ̀rẹ́. Iye hostel ni mo bá wálé ni. Ẹ relax. Kẹ́dé belt yín dáadáa. Kọ́kọ́ save ara ẹ náà kó tó máa sọ pé ó fẹ́ lọ máa help anybody o. A ti wà nínú flight nìyẹn. Flight wa ti fẹ́ board. A ti ẹ̀ ti board, ó ṣe fẹ́ move ni. Ó fẹ́ gbéra ń sìn, ó fẹ́ take off. Eléyìí ga ó pọ̀. Ó lè kónkó, ó lè kàǹkà. Mélòó la fẹ́ máa sọ nínú ìyìn ajé pèlè. Mo mọ̀ pé gbogbo wa lè máa ti rí. Ara mi ò rí. Mo rí ológbò látẹ̀ bí mo dẹ̀ bá látẹ̀ ni. One of the two ṣá. Ṣé mo sọ fún yín pé láti ra nǹkan nínú hold up, àwa tá lọ sí Èkó tàbí àwọn tá léèyàn ní Èkó kí n tó máa gbé oríṣiríṣi wá. Eléyìí gbẹnu tán, kẹ wá wo grammar, kẹ wá wo àwọn òyìnbó. Sunday Igboho òyìnbó, Sunday Igboho báwo? Let's go there.
Now they see what they do so. So now you see what they do so. When I put one at the buy the shop. Now they see how. Now they see how. That's what they do so. When I put one at the buy the shop. See how. See how. They defend they put up for something first. Now they see how. Take the rubber. Now they see how. So they don't even call. They put up. You understand? See all of them. See how. See how. So they use that to rub some seed first. Put that for their bucket. Go now they buy the shop. You understand? They not care. When our coffee say it right, see how. Only God knows what they do. Now they see how.
Exactly.
Now they see how. When I switch now they buy shop.
Lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, a ní fowó ara wa ra nǹkan tó máa pa wá nǹkan tó máa ẹlòmíì àtúrà lọ fọmọ ńlẹ̀ ṣẹ́rí ibi tílé ayé dé ẹ gbọ́ nǹkan kan ẹ̀ tí ì rí nǹkan kan etí máa gbé wá ń sìn etí máa gbé wá láti yẹn gangan òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ wípé Sunday Igboho ògbóyìnbó Buhari gan kò ṣe kíni kò gbọ́ òyìnbó bọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá ó ti fọ́ ó ti dojúrú irọ́ ló kù lórí irọ́ ibi tẹ́ bá ti ń gbọ́ tí mo ti ń sọ pé lórí irọ́ ibẹ̀ là ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ ti ká kọ́ gbọ́ ìtara sí bàbá wa yìí náà tó sọ torí gbogbo ìgbà náà lòun náà wá sọ̀rọ̀ nígbà tí Buhari wà ń bẹ ó sọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ yẹn preamble ló tún jẹ́ but tí bá gbé the last one wá ẹ̀yin bá wò òyìnbó náà wá fi rule everybody wa you know nothing now let's go there ẹ máa bá mi ká lọ ẹ farabalẹ̀ ẹ bá mi ṣe cup of tea ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan pápápá la máa ṣe tọ́jọ́ títí òní God bless you now let's go there.
We're going to have, and very heartbreaking, to put it mildly, as it were. But what do you attribute the side events in the past few days in some part of the country, just about 3 days back to back, and we're talking about roughly 60 lives got taken away?
Right. I am deeply saddened, and any human being with a beating heart should be, that our people are turned into beggars 64 years after our independence, lining up to get grains from our politicians through the churches or whichever avenue they choose to give. This is a very rich and endowed country, and this is where we have descended. I'm truly saddened. My thought and prayers go to the families of the lost ones. But we shouldn't be seeing what we are seeing. The good book said, when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. Millions of Nigerians today are groaning. They're hungry in this our land of plenty. I have been screaming this all across the land for the past 9-10 months here with some graphics that there is hunger in the land. Millions of Nigerians, predominantly women and children, go to bed hungry with no certainty of having anything to eat when they wake up. In this our land of plenty. And you come to Abuja, what do you see our politicians doing? Living it up. Look at the budget. All they're interested in is their creature comfort. Nigeria, this, the land I grew up in, the land that gave me all I got. We are now reduced to beggars by no less people than our leaders. This hunger is self-imposed. In a country that is not officially at war, in a country that we don't have famine, the rains have not failed. We have beautiful rain, but common rice is out of reach of the common man. When this government came to power, a bag of 50 kilos of rice was 8,500, now is hitting 90,000. What is the minimum wage? I tell you, 90% of Nigerian households cannot buy a bag of rice. So the government, from the state to the federal, they are weaponizing hunger. And you see, I go to Katsina, what do I see? I see a bag of rice with the face of the president, and I feel insulted. It's just like you see. Would you see the face of Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, on a bag of rice that they are giving, UN is given to refugees? These politicians are treating all of us, all Nigerians, as conquered people. And they are throwing grains at us,
Professor,
while they are living it up.
Professor, you laid the background for this conversation, looking at the socioeconomic and the political process we've come so far. But with the benefit of hindsight, would you think that if anyone is going to organize a palliative distribution in Nigeria, looking at what happened years and years ago, that certain measures should be in place and not just invite people and give them just one location, that anyone should expect that people are going to rush in, women, children, as you can see in those images. Some of them are pregnant women with bags of rice on their head, heavy with pregnancy. So I'm just imagining what could happen. So is there any way in which charity organizations, government agencies, MDAs, we've seen some corporate organizations on television, if you watch it on Arise, banks and other institutions distribute these same palliatives in a way that does not cause stampede nor death?
Right. For us to even accept this is acceptable is not acceptable, to be honest. To give the government an idea, oh, this is how you should distribute palliatives, for goodness sake. For goodness sake, we are still giving our people grains.
You find that
This is symptomatic of the problem.
You found that insulting.
We are treating the symptoms. No, absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm a doctor. You do not treat symptoms. You treat the disease. What we are seeing and what we just saw, this death stampede from distributing palliatives, can happen anywhere in this country. A symptom. Let's treat the disease. This is symptomatic of a bigger problem, a broken economy, hyperinflation, unemployment, and corruption in government. We do not treat the main problem, we're just treating symptoms and just distributing grains. For goodness sake, Nigeria, that we go around the world, that the president goes around the world, that we are the giants of Africa, we have GDP, we want a $1 trillion economy, our people are being treated like beggars, lining up and we're giving them grains like you see in the Sudan or Afghanistan or Yemen. The world is watching. This is not good. This is symptomatic of the injustice in this country. This is symptomatic of the injustice in this country, where we are giving our people rice 64 years after independence, when our leaders here in Abuja are living it up, when our governors are buying SUVs. There is hunger all over. There is hunger in the land. I've been screaming this. Government should stop everything. Mr. President, you are building a 15.6 trillion highway. You bought a plane of 150 billion. You bought a yacht of how many billions? You are buying SUVs all over the place. Your people are dying of hunger. And they're being killed in stampede to get rice. For goodness sake. We are not going to accept that. This is not acceptable, and we are not going to give the government or anybody any ways to, oh, this is how you should distribute this. No, this is not acceptable. It's not.
Yes, it is. When we look at...
And I saw the front page, right, and I saw the front page today of leadership, that security agents are going to supervise distribution of palliatives. For goodness sake. Is that how low our military or how security agencies have descended to? They are going to be guarding how rice is going to be distributed when the soldier or the policeman cannot buy rice for his family.
I remember sitting in this same chair. You were right there as well. Just a little over a year ago, and we were talking, and I was specific in saying that Nigeria had been damaged beyond repair by Buhari, and that anyone who is going to rescue Nigeria would have to reimagine it and then rebuild it from the ruins of the Buhari regime. And I did say in addendum at the time that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is incapable of envisioning a future for Nigeria because he's part and parcel, integral part and parcel of the horrible past of this country. Nobody alive is more responsible for the emergence of the Buhari regime than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's on record as having honed it himself. If he says he has inherited a bad situation, the question is from who? It's the same people, the same character, it's the same man.
How clueless is this president as far as you know?
What do you mean clueless? Let's be clear. When we excuse the madness we see on account of the cluelessness or inability of those who rule Nigeria, we're actually making strategic errors. They know exactly what they are doing at every point in time. The man is on record. He said, reduce their purchasing power, widen the tax net, All those things the man was saying and everybody were busy catching crews and laughing at the time, that's exactly what he's doing. You're seeing pockets of protests.
Nǹkan tí dókítà yìí tó sọ báwo lẹ ṣe rí sí? Ṣó fi gbá kan bọ̀ kan nínú? Ṣó make sense tàbí kò make sense? Bọ̀ ṣó máa gbọ́ tàbọ̀ ní gbọ́. Àwọn people tó wà ń bẹ̀ yìí, etí àwọn di ni wọ́n ti gbá ìṣó mọ́ wọn létí. Wọn ò gbọ́ ti ayé mọ́. Nǹkan tó wù àwọn òun náà fẹ́ ṣe. Wọn ò ṣe nǹkan tí mo ń gbé nǹkan bọ̀ sí ẹ má ti jẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀ jẹ́ má jẹ́ tọ̀rọ̀ jù. Ìgbà yẹn wọn gbọ́ lórí irọ́. Sunday Igboho lè sọ òyìnbó. Buhari gan ò lè sọ òyìnbó. Àti wá rí gbogbo ẹni tó máa fún wa ní grammar sí. Dictionary gan ló yẹ kí n gbé síbí bá ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run bá mi lọ gbé dictionary yẹn jáde. Ẹ máa léwo ní ayé ọpẹ́ èwo ló ti gbé jáde lálẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbé kíni jáde. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbé dictionary wa jáde wípé lórí irọ́ ẹ̀rí àwọn fi ẹnu nu àwọn fọwọ́ ní irọ́ wa lórí irọ́pọ̀ ni mo fẹ́ lọ gbé wá sí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ kó má jẹ́ mi nìkan. Ìyá mi wá mẹ́gbọ́n mi àtàbúrò mi. Ẹ má ti jẹ́ cup of tea, ẹ má jẹ́ kó tutù. Àwọn ayé hostel, àwọn àǹbíbà lọ́jọ́ títí òní láti mú ó Gbankogbi wá fún yín. Now let's go there.
You have to accommodate all of that. You have to put that one into the economic calculations.
Yes, Mr. President, but it's not the rationale for your tax reforms bill that is in question. That is understood, Mr. President.
Good.
Yes. I think what especially critics are arguing is that it seems to be rushed and that you could have perhaps preceding just before the presentation to the National Assembly, you could have sought maybe for more dialogue, a political solution to preempt the outcry and resistance that you faced afterwards.
Every tax situation without outcry is not a tax. Well, you cannot satisfy uniformly the larger community of tax evaders. Look at this tax reform. It's pro-poor. The vulnerables are not to pay taxes. All we ask for is widen the net, bake the cake larger, so that we can share a larger meal. What is the need? They will still ask for this consultation no matter how long I delay. The hallmark of a good leader is the ability to do what you have to do at the time it has to be done. That's my philosophy. You have given me the mandate to govern. Let me govern within the limit of my capacity. And I believe I have that capacity. I believe so. That's why I went into the race. I am focused, laser focused on what Nigeria needs and what I must do for Nigerians. It's just not going to be El Dorado for everybody. But the new dawn is here. I'm convinced, and you should be convinced. You should help propagate that conviction.
I'm dialing back, Mr. President, to the budget. The value in Naira of the current budget that you presented is...
We'll be right back. Stay with us. President Bola Ahmed issues, food security. Nigerians, the last time we were in Lagos, they were saying, That is, we are hungry, and that's what people are saying all over the country. And you have a livestock, Ministry of Livestock Economy, you've been talking about agriculture. Now, how are you going to address, one, the issue of clashes between farmers and herders, and how to put food on the table so that Nigerians will not be, engaging in stampede for free food for palliatives?
Well, thank you very much. It is very sad to look back and very promising to look at what we are doing now. There was never a Ministry of Livestock Development. It was stopped. I've been traveling around the globe to campaign and sell Nigeria. Hopefully, all of you will help lift this country from this moment on. And livestock is to turn a disaster to prosperity for Nigeria. We have what it takes. We have the arable land, we have animal stock, we have the opportunity. We just have to remove the conflicting element and commercialize the venture. And I went to Brazil, saw what is happening there. Within 2 days, I got a pledge of $2.5 billion. And they have been here to visit Nigeria. To turn what we seen as tragedy to opportunity and prosperity. I've been warned not to grade myself. I won't. But that is a promise for this country. And that's up till the level of cow horn is being converted in other climes, just as Brazil and the rest of the Americans. Why not take advantage of that here? We can feed ourselves, we can export and feed other nations. Our people, some of the ministers are there in Saudi Arabia right now discussing the opportunity for food, growth and supply, for more investments in our agricultural businesses. Why are we not embracing commodity exchange to do a whole lot of other businesses that surround agriculture? We will do.
Will you also consider price control? Because it's like people are just doing what they like.
I don't believe in it. Sorry, Babajide, I don't believe in price control. I don't.
What can we do, sir, to bring down
We just continue to supply the market. We work hard to supply the market.
But there are middlemen who are making life unbearable for them.
Well, they will. You see, it's a question of supply and demand. It will come to a stage where you cannot hold no more. It will come to a stage. The economic variables will work against you. Now, let's take, for example, the fuel prices and the petrol pump. I introduced Naira for dollar change. For weeks, they didn't want to comply. They were arguing with me. Okay, leave it to free market. I left it. Now the prices are coming down gradually.
Yes.
Okay. The market is being saturated. No monopoly, no oligopoly. You have a free market economy flowing. And people are learning management. My friend used to have about, he brought to me, he has 5 Rolls Royce. And he brought a nice Jeep here. The other day, I saw him in his Honda Accord. Oh, he said, why? He said, that's where you put me. I said, I didn't put you there. He said, that is because of fuel prices. He could no longer maintain 5 limo type of vehicles. It's not negative to learn to manage. You learn to control your electricity bill, switch off the light, let's learn to manage.
Is Nigeria looking to export food commodities to Saudi or other countries?
Oh, sure. Why not? Take advantage of the export and good commodity prices.
But people would say that we're not producing enough for our own consumption.
We
mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pákó bójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí ẹ̀yin ìyá mi ìbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n àti àbúrò mo rò pé gbogbo wa la ti gbọ́ pírípírípírípírí lórí kíni lórí irọ́ ló bá dé irọ́ ni gbogbo ẹ̀ bá dé orí irọ́ ni kí lẹ rò kàn ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí sìn ààyè campaign fún another 4 years tí gbogbo wa jọ mọ̀ wípé ẹ dìbò èyí tán fi sọ wípé ẹ tepo a máa dìbò a máa wọlé ẹ dìbò a máa wọlé ni ṣe rí gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá ṣe rí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń béèrè mi ní ìdá tí máa repeat ara mi báwo lẹ́yìn ṣe rí sí a ní kò sí nǹkan kan ń bẹ̀ wọ́n kàn ṣe kí ni gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbà fún Nàìjíríà tó ìgbà yìí pé àwọn ìjọba Nàìjíríà àwọn náà fi ẹ̀jẹ̀ wọn náà fi ń wọlẹ̀ náà fi wọ́n ṣètùtù wọ́n tún fi wọ́n ṣètùtù ń sìn fún gọ́vnà honourable Dr. Ṣèyí Tinubu ẹ dìbò àwọn tún ti di gọ́vnà àwa ti wọ́yẹ̀ yìí jẹ́ ìwọ ọ̀nà ìwọ ń pápá ìwọ ọ̀nà ìwọ ń pápá ìwọ ọ̀nà ìwọ ń pápá wọ́n tún ti wọ́yẹ̀ yìí jẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká wọ́n sí Ṣèyí Tinubu ẹ má bá mi ká lọ.
Where's Mama?
Oríṣiríṣi. Wonder shall never end.
Public 09, Public 403. God, led by Cadet Sergeant Afolabi Abdubasit Adewale. God, provided by Nigerian Cadet Network, Ogun State Command. God, ready for your inspection, sir. Pull down, hands.
Wait. Golden Sun.
Leave the road,
Bad boys.
Salute! Reason! At the end of the inspection, sir, may I have your permission to dismiss the guard in the guard room, sir? Gentlemen, stand back. Remain the guard. Into the guard room. Dismiss.
Mo rò pé gbogbo wa pátápátá báwo ni kí ni kọ́mẹ̀ntì tí ẹ̀yin yá mi ìbá mi ẹgbọ́n mi àtàbúrò mi ẹ̀kọ́ nìkan kan lọ́ra ń sìn yìí o gbogbo Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀ ẹ rí wípé ṣe bẹ́yìn náà lẹ sọ ẹ̀yin kọ́ o ẹ̀yin tàwa ti Yorùbá nation kọ́ àwọn Nàìjíríà Yorùbá ní kẹ́ gbé fún Yorùbá ní kẹ́ gbé fún yes ṣọ́n ti pín ráìsì déédéé ọ̀dọ̀ yín ṣe ti gbaṣu tó bá yá ń sìn Indomie náà máa tún máa jù fún yín lórí ẹ ti rí nǹkan kan 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 ẹ̀yin tèmi ẹ bá mi fílẹ̀ nínú comment section ojú wo lẹ fi wò Èkó nìkan kọ́ ni lọ́wọ́ yìí gbogbo Nàìjíríà ni ìyàwó Tinubu Bọ́lá Tinubu Ṣèyí Tinubu Ìyálóde Tinubu Èkúlé Tinubu ewúrẹ́ lé Tinubu àgùntàn lé Tinubu dustbin lé Tinubu gbogbo wọn ṣe kí ni gbogbo wọn kó everybody àwọn Nàìjíríà wọn kó wọn lẹ́rú mo mọ̀ ẹ́ pé kí ni àwa ọmọ kan lè kún yín láìpẹ́ láìjìnà ìyanu á ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ bá mi pín ètò yìí ẹ bá mi fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì tí yín sílẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì rẹ̀ mo kí mo yìn yín o lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ojú òní tì yín tó rárá ibi tẹ́yin náà ti ń gbà láti ràn mí lọ́wọ́ náà nìyẹn tẹ́yin bá mi fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì rẹ̀ tẹ́yin bá mi láìkẹ́ ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ nígbà àkọ́kọ́ ẹ má gbàgbé láti bá wa subscribe God bless you one love back.
mo kí gbogbo ojú tí wò mí ti ń gbọ́ mi jákèjádò orígun mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin àgbáyé orúkọ mi ni ambassador àkànfẹ́ ìwò tí mo jẹ́ agbẹnusọ fún iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited níléeṣẹ́ wa bí láti màmọ̀ dájú nǹkan kan tí eléyìnbó ń pè ní health is wealth ìlera lọ́rọ̀ kì í ṣàfẹnujẹ́ nìkan tá a bá ń gbọ́ ní sétí torí gbogbo lọ́gbọ̀n àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n ń kojú àìsàn tí a pè ní ìfúnpá gíga ìdí nìyí tí iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal fi ṣètò oògùn ìfúnpá gíga fún ní powder àti ní olómi kò tán síbẹ̀ oògùn ìtọ̀ ṣúgà ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Ultimate Herbal International Limited ní powder àti ní olómi òun náà lẹ̀ ń wò yìí oògùn ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn wà tí a ti ṣe lọ́jọ̀ fún ẹni tó bá ń kojú ọ̀pẹ́ ẹ̀yìn torí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣòro iléeṣẹ́ wa níbí ní oògùn ẹ̀ tó lè bá wọn tán rẹ̀ lójú ọgbọ́n. Bákan náà ogunlọ́gọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n jẹ́ oníbìísí tí wọ́n ti rora wọn pín wípé Ọlọ́run ò lè ṣe ṣùgbọ́n tó jẹ́ pé àìsàn kan sómìíràn ní kọjú ọmọ bíbí wọn. Ó wà ní iléeṣẹ́ X2 Herbal International Limited fún ìwòsàn fún àwọn oníbìísí. Kò tán síbẹ̀ o, a ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ oògùn tí a ṣe létò fún ẹni tó bá jẹ́ ẹni tó bá ní ikùn gbẹ̀ndù.
You're welcome. Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.